Let's talk about removing pet hair out of your interior, whether it's dog, cat, a feral, or whatever they're called. If there's some type of animal hair in your vehicle, these methods will work. Now, we do it as a business. We have a mobile detailing business, so we do it in a more professional manner. But you can take away small bits and pieces of what we do in our entire system and apply it to you, whether you're doing this as a business or you just haven't cleaned your dog's hair out the vehicle for a while. You can take bits and pieces of what we do here and the tool that we use and apply it to your situation. So all the links will be down below in terms of what we use, so don't worry about the names or anything. Just check down below for the links. Now, this vehicle isn't entirely bad compared to the first vehicle that we did for the customer. So I would say this one is bad, but it's nowhere near as bad as the first vehicle that we did. So there's pet hair in the trunk, on the floor mats, on the seats. It's just standard, like there's just pet hair everywhere. The dog stays in the trunk most of the time, so the trunk was primarily dirty. Now we're gonna use a few main tools. We're gonna use a Lily pet hair brush. Now there's various brushes that you can use that fit that type of profile. We use a Lily pet hair brush. For this vehicle, we're trying out the Buff Bright pet hair attachment thing to a vacuum. We're using a drill with a drill cone to loosen up the hair and the fibers. We're using an air compressor with a cleaning gun. Now we're using the Vortex cleaning gun. And we also have a vacuum. Now, you're not going to be able to remove dog hair with simply just vacuuming. You might get, now I will say though, it depends on the type of hair that it is. One time, like literally one time, I went to go service a vehicle for pet hair removal and I literally just vacuumed like 90% of the pet hair. Super easy. It was the most simplest, easiest thing to ever do with pet hair. 99% of the time, you cannot just vacuum up pet hair. It gets intertangled with the fibers. They get really stuck in there. They fly everywhere. So you just can't vacuum. So you need an additional tool. If you're doing this just on your own as your personal vehicle, I would recommend just purchase the pet hair brush, the Lily pet hair brush, or anything similar to that type of product. Even use the backside of a rubber of a squeegee if you have one at home already, and just use that across the interior. Super easy, and then just vacuum up the pile of pet hair. But now let me just kind of give you my rundown of what we're doing. Now, since I'm recording, right, you have one person working over there, one person working over there. So I'm trying to get this side, but if they're finishing the pet hair over there, I'm trying to move away here before they finish because then they're done with that spot. So I'm kind of moving back and forth, trying to get enough content and showing what we're going on. What you want to do first is loosen the pet hair from the fibers. So that can either be through the drill brush, that can be through the air, or that could be through the pet hair brush. Here we're using the Lily pet hair brush. So what you first want to do is loosen the hair from the fibers, right? You're not going to be able to vacuum it up because it's mostly stuck on there. You will be able to vacuum up the loose ones, but most of the pet hair is probably not going to be loose. It's going to be, really intertwined with the fibers. So we're going to use, in combination across the board, Lily pet hair brush. The drill with the red cone. The air to loosen, dislodge the pet hair. And then the vacuum is the last step where we're actually gonna go in and vacuum everything. So now let me show you the afters. Unfortunately, the sun was like out pretty hard, so like it would overexpose and it would be hard to get shot. So I did the best with the after shots. Now yes, if you use the air compressor, the air gun on the interior, yes, pet hair is gonna fly around everywhere. There's no problem with the interior, with the dust and pet hair blowing around everywhere when we're using the air gun, because that's not the point. The point isn't to keep the interior clean. The point is to dislodge the debris, dislodge the pet hair, and get it free so that we can wipe it down or vacuum it away. So we're not worried that, oh, there's debris and pet hair going in the air. Yeah, that's the point. We want to get it loose so it's easier to vacuum up. If you're doing this as a business, you have to set up the right expectations for your customers. You can't say, hey, it's going to be 100% removal of the pet hair, because it's not. I mean, there's some, depending on the dog or the pet that it is, or the hair that it is, it gets so stuck in those fibers, especially if you're working on like very poor condition or just not quality fibers of the interior in itself. Then it makes it even harder. So I always say around like 90% removal, and this is, we probably did like 95% removal, but I never promise 100 because I've never been able to get 100% of the pet hair out. That's like almost impossible. So it's gonna look a lot significantly better, like 90% removal, but there's still gonna be some left over in there. So we do the first, so we're doing a full interior cleaning. So we're still gonna shampoo the seats and the floor mats and all that. So we first focus on removing all the pet hair, right, as much as we can. Let's say like 85-90% of the pet hair, and then we go into the cleaning phase. And then once we're done with the cleaning phase, we're gonna go one more round across the entire interior. We're gonna open all the compartments, move the seats forward and backward. We're gonna open up the seams of the seats, and we're gonna blow everything out, brush everything again to see if we can get any last remaining pet hair that might have flown around or been stuck somewhere while we were cleaning the interior. The two main things we'd probably use first are gonna be the air compressor, the air gun, and then the drill, the drill. If those things don't work, we'll then move to the Lily pet hair brush to get more accurate, to be more accurate of what we're working on. And then after that's all done, we might blow a little bit more, use the drill a little bit more, and then the vacuum at the end. And we always pile up the pet hair and then just come back and vacuum it. Now, if you're doing this on your personal vehicle, you can go in there one by one, pluck them out and all that stuff. You can take it however long you want, but you're doing it as a business. There's a timeline, there's a budget to everything. So it's not like we can spend, forever on there. But I'd say, I think across the board, we can all agree that 90-95% pet hair removal is pretty good, because are the owners going to put their animals back in the vehicle? Yes. So it's not like it's going to stay clean forever, right? Like, give it a month and there's going to be another layer of pet hair. So it's not like it's going to be like, oh my god, like, this is the last time I'm ever putting my pet hair. It's usually that same day the pet's in there doing what they do. Like I always say, you want tools and products to have multiple applications, right? But you'll get to a certain point where it does help to have one-off tools and products. So like, it does help to have just pet hair brushes when you encounter pet hair vehicles, right? So, and it's not like we carry like a huge, suite of tools for pet hair. It's literally just a Lily pet hair brush. And there's various brushes that are the same of the Lily. Like, I'm not saying like it's a copy and paste, but I'm saying that they serve the same purpose. You'll find those same brushes. So if you can just find a brush like that, if you're doing it as a personal use, that's fine. But as far as the business side, I would say the gun, the air gun, and the drill are the workhorses for the vacuuming, which includes the pet hair removal part of any interior cleaning that we do. And for us, when we're quoting pet hair removal, interior cleanings, we don't separate pet hair and interior cleaning. We just combine it to one price. So if someone comes to us and say, hey, can you clean my, whatever, Toyota Corolla? It also has a bunch of pet hair. We don't say the price is $220 for the interior cleaning and $80 for the pet hair removal. We just give the total price together because it's like it's a part of the process anyhow. Now with pet hair, it does take longer depending on the condition that it's in. Sometimes, when you're doing it by yourself, it can take 2-3 hours just to get rid of all the pet hair before you even get into the interior cleaning. So sometimes, depending on the condition, the pet hair can turn to a really long detail. But I'll end it right here. If you have any comments, questions, concerns about the pet hair removal, the tools that we use, our process, leave it down below, or share your tips on what you do to remove pet hair. There's plenty of ways to do it. There's no right or wrong way. It's just whatever works for you. Keep on doing that and get the proper results for your customers. And if you're doing this for your own vehicle, that Lily pet hair brush or anything similar to that will probably do will get you to the point where you want to be with removing the pet hair. So I'll talk to everyone on the next one. Oh, and also links down below for my podcast, Instagram, and any other things that I am working on.